Dmitri Mendeleev is a name that everyone in this room has heard. He was on that one worksheet we did a while back. But do you really know how and what he contributed to our understanding of chemistry today? Soon enough you will. This is the life of the man who created the periodic table as we know it and gave us that handy illustration that we all have in the back of our textbooks. And as such, he is the man that we should be thanking every time we refer to it. Mendeleev was born in a small village in Siberia, Imperial Russia, in the year 1834 to a devout, scholarly Russian Orthodox family. From his early childhood he was pushed into a scientific direction, and he achieved his goals when he graduated from the main pedagogical institute, and further began many different periods of teaching and researching chemistry. He later obtained a master's degree from the first Simferopol Gymnasium and began to pen many assorted works in different fields of chemistry. His most notable work would come in the mid to late 1860s when he began to form his own theory on the way that elements should be organized. Prior to Mendeleev, there were other scientists who tried to make an effective, accurate method of organizing the elements. John Newlands notably formulated his law of octaves, in which atoms were put in the order of increasing atomic masses and in periods of 8, during which similar properties were observed within the columns formed by the elements. Newlands' theory was published in 1865, a few years before Mendeleev would formulate his definitive set of rules. In the time between then and the inception of the periodic table, Mendeleev would work closely with the elements, authoring a textbook called The Principles of Chemistry. It was during his work on this book that the seeds were implanted for the culmination of all his work in chemistry. Mendeleev began to notice similarities in the properties of certain elements. He noted that the properties of atoms and their atomic mass seemed to be correlated. How Mendeleev's theory differed from Newland's law of octaves was in Mendeleev's use of atomic number and periodicity to classify the elements into a number of families based on shared properties, thus creating the periodic table as we know it. Another notable feature of Mendeleev's periodic law was its ability to accurately predict the properties of elements that had yet to be discovered. The periodic table came at a point where elements were still actively being discovered, and the elements discovered always fit into Mendeleev's pinpointed increasing atomic mass periodic system. It was for all these reasons that the periodic table was relatively quickly adopted by the scientific community as a legitimate means by which to sort the elements. Mendeleev worked in chemistry for the rest of his life. The prestige and reputation he gained from formulating the periodic table put him in a good standing with the Russian government, with whom he worked on several occasions from the 1870s until his death. His theories and writing came to be met with international acclaim, with Mendeleev earning several different awards and honors from all around the world, including 2 consecutive nominations for the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. In 1907, Mendeleev's health deteriorated and he died the February of the next year. Mendeleev's discoveries continue to affect the world of chemistry today. The periodic table continued to be expanded as new elements were discovered long after his death. It's still used today in a form more refined than Mendeleev's original 1860s design. Despite this, the table is undoubtedly Mendeleev's invention, and without him it's very likely our understanding of chemistry, the atom, and the elements today would be far more limited. From his early childhood he was pushed in and he achieved his goals when he graduated from the His most notable work would come in the It was for all these reasons that the periodic table is relatively